World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that lasted from July 28, 1914, to November 11, 1918. It involved most of the world's great powers, divided into two opposing alliances, the Allies and the Central Powers. The war was one of the deadliest conflicts in history and had profound effects on the 20th century. Below is a comprehensive overview of World War I. 1. Causes of World War I. Militarism. European powers had been building up their military forces, leading to an arms race, particularly between Germany and Britain. Alliances. A complex system of alliances developed in Europe, including the Triple Entente, France, Russia, Britain, and the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy. These alliances meant that any conflict between two countries could quickly involve others. Imperialism. European nations were competing for colonies and resources, creating tensions and rivalries. Nationalism. Nationalist movements in various countries, particularly in the Balkans, created instability and a desire for independence or dominance. 2. The spark. Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip, a member of a Serbian nationalist group. This event triggered a series of diplomatic crises and led to the outbreak of war. 3. The July Crisis. Following the assassination, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia. Serbia's response was deemed unsatisfactory, leading Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. This set off a chain reaction of mobilizations and declarations of war due to the web of alliances. 4. Major powers enter the war. Germany supported Austria-Hungary and declared war on Russia, August 1, 1914, and France, August 3, 1914. France and Britain. France was drawn into the war due to its alliance with Russia. Britain declared war on Germany on August 4, 1914, following Germany's invasion of Belgium, which violated Belgium's neutrality. Russia mobilized against Austria-Hungary in defense of Serbia. Other nations. Italy initially remained neutral but joined the Allies in 1915. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers in late 1914. 5. Major fronts and battles. Western Front, stretched from the English Channel to Switzerland. The front became a stalemate, characterized by trench warfare and battles such as the First Battle of the Marne, 1914, Verdun, 1916, and the Somme, 1916. Eastern Front, between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia. It was more fluid than the Western Front, with significant battles like Tannenberg, 1914, and Brusilov Offensive, 1916. Italian Front, fought between Italy and Austria-Hungary along their border, including battles like Caporetto, 1917. Gallipoli Campaign, 1915–1916. A failed attempt by the Allies to control the Dardanelles and open a supply route to Russia. Middle Eastern Front, involved the Ottoman Empire and included campaigns in the Sinai, Palestine, Mesopotamia, and Arabia, e.g., the Arab Revolt. 6. War at Sea. The war at sea involved blockades, naval battles, and the use of submarines. The British Royal Navy imposed a naval blockade on Germany, leading to food shortages. The German U-boat campaign targeted Allied shipping, including the sinking of the RMS Lusitania in 1915, which contributed to the United States entering the war. 7. Technological innovations. Trench warfare. Soldiers fought from deep trenches, leading to a war of attrition with high casualties. Chemical weapons. Poison gas, such as chlorine and mustard gas, was used, causing horrific injuries. Tanks. First used by the British at the Battle of the Somme in 1916, tanks were an attempt to break the deadlock of trench warfare. Aircraft, used for reconnaissance, dogfights, and bombing. Air combat became increasingly important as the war progressed. 8. Home fronts in total war. Governments took control of economies, rationed goods, and mobilized entire populations for war. Propaganda was used to maintain public support. Women entered the workforce in large numbers, taking on roles traditionally held by men. 9. United States entry into the war. The U.S. initially remained neutral, but German unrestricted submarine warfare, along with the Zimmermann Telegram, a proposal from Germany to Mexico to join the war against the U.S., led to American entry into the war on April 6, 1917. The arrival of fresh American troops and resources provided a significant boost to the Allies. 10. Russian Revolution and withdrawal. In 1917, Russia experienced two revolutions, the February Revolution, which led to the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II, and the October Revolution, which brought the Bolsheviks to power. Russia signed the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with the Central Powers in March 1918, exiting the war and ceding significant territory. 11. End of the war. Spring Offensive. 1918 Germany launched a final major offensive on the Western Front but failed to achieve a decisive victory. 100 Days Offensive. 1918 The Allies, bolstered by American forces, launched a counteroffensive, breaking through German lines and pushing them back. Armistice. Germany, facing internal revolution and military collapse, agreed to an armistice on November 11, 1918. Fighting officially ceased at 11 a.m. on that day. 12. Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, the Treaty of Versailles officially ended the state of war between Germany and the Allied powers. The treaty imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including significant territorial losses, military restrictions, and reparations payments. The treaty is often cited as a cause of World War II due to the resentment and economic hardship it created in Germany. 13. Consequences of World War I. Casualties. The war caused an estimated 16 million deaths and 21 million wounded. With millions more affected by famine, disease, and the Spanish flu pandemic that followed, political changes, the war led to the collapse of empires, Austro-Hungarian, Russian, Ottoman, and German, and the redrawing of national boundaries in Europe and the Middle East. League of Nations, established in 1920 as part of the Treaty of Versailles. The League of Nations was an international organization aimed at maintaining peace, although it ultimately failed to prevent World War II. Social impact. The war had profound effects on society, including the role of women, the rise of new ideologies like communism and fascism, and the disillusionment of a generation. 14. Legacy of World War I. World War I fundamentally altered the global political landscape, setting the stage for major geopolitical shifts, including the rise of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. It also had a lasting impact on art, literature, and collective memory, with the war being remembered as a tragic and senseless conflict that shaped the 20th century. This overview provides a comprehensive look at the causes, major events, and consequences of World War I.